I'll have you control the studio system.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on right now. It should be live, should be recording. Yes, it's live, it's recording. So I'm now delegating that responsibility to Eric. I pressed record. The rest of it is up to Eric after here. So, welcome to Vlog Thursday 102, the first one. And I only like to title it that because the last one was recorded as the last one. So this is the first one of 2019. Welcome to the new year. Actually, make sure the microphone's facing me because I moved it. I bumped into it on accident. I think it's facing the right area. It looks like it's pointing at me. I can't hear me, so we have audio. That's always a check. Hello from PA. Happy New Year. All these fun things. So I'm playing with my new lens, which is kind of cool too because it's a macro focus lens, and so it's got features. And one of those features, let me do this here because this is kind of cool. So if I do this, I can show you things on my phone like that. And then it focuses back. That's really cool to me. I don't know. I'm a geek for photography stuff and lenses and things like that. I know it's, whatever, but it's kind of fun. Oh, my phone has a notice. Heavy traffic on the way to my house. My drive, instead of 7 minutes, is going to be 9 minutes. So technically, percentage-wise, that is a lot of minutes. But yes, I only live 7 minutes. It takes me 7 minutes to get from here to my house, and most of the time I get there in about 5. You got to beat the Google clock. Anyways, it's been a busy day. I was going to upload more videos, and I just, between all the little things that came up and the little things I've been working on, I didn't have time. But I'm sorting a few things out and working on some bigger projects. But the FreeNAS videos, the reason they haven't been flowing out, I'm very big about bug reports. I'm trying to make sure, and I have to load a whole nother server to make sure I'm right about things. I'm very careful when I do bug reports. But what I'm seeing is lots of weird interface quirks with 11.2. But the good news is, before I even got a chance to reload it, I worked on a customer's big enterprise system today, moved to 21 terabytes of data around for them, and they had 0 of the problems I have. So I don't know why I have the problems. I'm debating about just reloading my primary FreeNAS server altogether. But it's just interface quirks. They're completely, like, the file system stable. Everything's great on the back end. It's just like little things, like when you do, when I was setting up replication, I get an error, and the error is kind of generic, something I couldn't, and I'm not sure why the error wants to restart Samba when you're setting a replication set. It's like a, I believe it was, because if I'm not mistaken, it's the Django that some of it's written in. It's a framework error that you just can click through and go away, and it all works fine. So I've had no problems. And if you switch to the legacy interface, it doesn't happen. But for the client I set up, it wasn't happening on their interface. So I got to sort that out a little bit. I don't know, and it could be because I've done a bunch of betas. Maybe I brought something over from a config file from the beta. So I can't not rule me out because I play with things for experimental reasons. So also, macro focus. I should have made that. Could have made that the thumbnail. I'm sure it's inappropriate. I don't know if that'll get demonetized in this video. When is the Netgate Firewall review coming? You posted in the community tab. I don't know, because that one I literally was not here long enough to review. We've done a lot of those, so I'll do an installed review of it, but I have to hide because it's obviously got as a public-facing IP address, blah, blah, blah. So I'll have to hide some of that information and kind of figure it out. So, yeah. Have I used the incoming call function on the Pixel 2 XL? A lot. That has been wonderful. I've used that quite a bit. That's been very good. So, hey, Pascal, we're all out of chocolates. Pascal, I see you in the chat room there. And we ate, we didn't realize you're halfway through before we found out there's a brochure of what the chocolates are. And then we're like, oh, okay. They're no longer mystery chocolates. but they're all gone now. So we just kind of, it was chocolate roulette for a little while. It's kind of dicey, but we survived and we ate the entire thing of chocolates. It was wonderful. If I ever go to Belgium, it'll be for the chocolate. I don't know what else is in Belgium, but I know they get chocolate and they got beer. Those are wonderful things. So, spent a lot of time in Freenet UI, upgraded 11.1, had a whopping 9 drives at once. Cool. Screen function, the best part is they usually stop calling. Yeah, the screen function, I use it all the time because I don't like answering. I never answer my personal cell phone. No one calls me. My friends text me or Signal, whatever the text messaging of choice is for them, whether they send me a message on Facebook, an actual text message, or my techie friends all use Signal. So we use Signal a lot, and yeah, I don't really get phone calls ever. So I can pretty much send every single... Matter of fact, that's the only thing I wish I could do is if you're not in my phone book, just go directly to these call screening. I just screen everybody if they call. So compared to my business, I use this for my business as well, but I'm using Zoiper. So when a call comes into Zoiper, I know it's for business. There seems to be an absolute lack of spam calls over there. So... looking for an open source hosted inventory management program. Any suggestions? Dexter, check our forums. There is, and then the name of it eludes me, but good news is it's in the forums. There's a post about that exact topic. It's called, I can leave a link to it, but this is the one that came up that people said they liked for inventory management. For IT inventory management. It's called Snipe It. I've never tested it. I don't really have time to test it. And it's not something I would test because I don't have a use case for it. We use SolarWinds for our inventory and understanding what's at our clients. So I don't have a need for yet another system. And that's actually something I'm always very careful about. Before we make a decision, do we need an external piece of software for anything? Does our current internal stack handle it? And that's an important aspect because what you end up with is a lot of disconnected things everywhere that need maintenance and disconnected databases. So I always want everything as integrated as tightly as possible for monitoring, management, and everything else because, well, this makes my life easier. We have a lot of things to keep an eye on. So if there's more places for those things, it gets kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, asset management versus, you're right. I mean, I'm assuming Snipe It is for the managing assets and at their clients, and we're using it more for the stuff on the SolarWinds side, things like that. So, Happy New Year! Woohoo! Thank you very much, Macro NLD. So thank you for some money that will be put to good use. Schmarvin with Snipe It IT for an internal help desk. See if also would have a better tool. I don't know. I'm not used to it. I'm aware of it. I can tell you and regurgitate what is on their front page, and they have an online demo. You can play with it. So I can't tell you anything more than you can glean from the website from it. I've not used it, implemented, or anything, so I have no details to help you with there. Let's see what we here. Was it hard starting your business? How many years ago? Was it 15 years ago? I started my business. Sure, hard, difficult. That's perspective. It's a lot of work. I find it worth it. But I'm also not the entrepreneur who says everyone should be an entrepreneur. I don't like that it's celebrated like everyone should just run their own company because it's not necessarily something everyone is either good at. You may find a better, more fulfilling career not having to deal with all the BS side of the business because I still don't like the BS side of the business. Any of the things not related to tech I consider somewhat the BS side of the business. People ask me, would you consider having a job? I'm like, oh yeah, I'd work for the right person. So far that's been me, but still. Let's see. Hey, another person from Belgium. Thanks for all the great videos. Awesome. Thank you. So we use SolarWinds. It has an easy asset information tool. Yes, it's really simple. What else we get here? AD alternative to LDAP is going to be your closest cousin to that, but it's, Active Directory. We actually had that discussion the other day because so many different Linux things tie into Active Directory, and the reason why Active Directory is just the all things. It's it is what it is. It isn't going away. If you're in IT, you're going to kind of have to deal with it. It's a great federated access system. Well, maybe not great. It's what we have available to us that is well integrated across many, many platforms. We integrate with FreeNAS to it because to try to manage one of the clients we have, they have a lot of things federated all through their Active Directory across their sites. They even have non-Windows devices all tied to this. It would be a pain to do it in any other method. There's not another system to glue it all together. So you're not overlooking something like a product you didn't know about. It just doesn't exist right now. Do you use Screen Connect? What do you think about it? We love Screen Connect. I've been using it for years. We're really happy with it. We plan to keep on using it. So nothing wrong with that. It's a great product. When will Domino's desktop support role be replaced by automation? It is being, not in the way you think probably. And I think I did a video about this. If not, I'm going to do another rant video soon. Here's what you got to keep in mind about the whole MS desktop support role thing going away. Why is it going away? How is it going away is really simple. The world is moving to web-enabled apps. Why? Really simple. No one wants to be in a hardware business. It's not very fulfilling. And I say being in a hardware business as in, why would we want a bunch of computers that I have to manage a bunch of applications on? So no one is writing new applications for Windows. Sorry, not happening. No new hot app is a Windows desktop app. It is all moving to a cloud enabled. And I've seen this going on for years, and I don't blame anyone. We have another client who's finally sunsetting their legacy on-site system because they've been weighing it out. The new server, the new equipment is going to be about $26,000 to keep the levels of redundancy and everything else. It is just less expensive to host that in a data center. It's less expensive to buy it as a service, and also there's no more apps to have to load across 40 computers on our network. So every time there's an update, there's 40 computers that go update. I know you can push them through Active Directory, but sometimes they don't push right, and any application updates don't work properly. It's just you can see what a mess it is versus open web browser, log in. So that's where everything's going, is more like web-enabled type apps. HTML5 is such a great leap forward where we're seeing so much more power in the browser. The browsers are themselves capable of running like an operating system into themselves, and why would you have desktop apps? It doesn't make any sense. It's not a business model that makes sense. So everything's shifting to that. But we have years and years of support for desktop. I'm still supporting Windows 95 crap. Legacy, SCADA stuff, old equipment. It takes years for that stuff to work its way out of the market and never be changed. So it's not really... it's going away. It's not going away tomorrow, and the long tail of legacy will live on forever. It feels like forever, probably till many people's retirement. Doing Cloud Sync with FreeNAS to Backblaze, doing full encryption, including names. Is there a way to browse those encrypted backups? No, not really, because that's kind of the point of them being encrypted backups. It's not easy. Very difficult. Marketing is one of the hardest parts you're going to do with the business. It just flat out. It's marketing. From a tech standpoint, that's where most of the techs fail. That's why there's so many different marketing academies, marketing schools, and people go, oh my gosh, they want like $5,000 for a training program. I'm like, yep, that's the marketing is the hard part, getting your name out there. Truly, it's going to be the harder part in that you have to have the skills to deliver when the job comes, but the other side is highly true as well. You have to have that marketing out there, and it's not my favorite part of the job at all. But it is what it is. So, hi from the Virgin Islands. Hello, Happy New Year from. I got a lot of Belgium people. This is awesome. I want to visit Belgium now. We'll have a vlog Thursday in Belgium one day. I think that's a good idea. Is there any tool over your dashboard or multiple PFSense? Not really, Schmervin. There is not. There's no discussion of forums on that. There's not any wonderful. It's not made for that. There's a couple people that have wrote some third-party tools, but there's nothing really concrete on there. Any chance you would do step-by-step installation of Invoice Ninja? Their step-by-step is really good that they have. So, and the reason I don't plan on doing it is a lot. The reason I'm not doing it is because there's a new version, and which will be a new deployment. Maybe when the new deployment comes out, I'll do it. But for now, no. I'm not planning on it. So, doing a step-by-step for that. Ooh, Happy New Year from the Netherlands. Awesome. So, did you find the Tandy Radio Shack TRS-80 in the hole you dug in the backyard? No, I didn't, but I used to have a TRS-80. I had the color computer one. That was my first computer. Let's see. Yeah, moving clients from Office 365 from on-prem Exchange is a no-brainer. Yeah, no one has anything. I mean, email was like the first big application universally to go to the cloud. No, hardly anyone, I can't say no one, but hardly anyone runs an on-site mail server anymore. They're all just going away. If you ever want to build a FreeNAS server greater than 100 terabytes, go to a Storinator. If you don't want to go the TrueNAS route and buy something like from the certified TrueNAS route, go get a Storinator. That's probably the easiest, best way to do it. I'm going to do some build videos on there as a discussion and theoretical, because this question comes up a lot, and this was a consulting thing I did today. I like how the premise thing started with them. A couple days ago, they wanted a 300 terabyte used FreeNAS server. I'm like, well, there's not a lot of used 300 terabyte servers in the market. I'm sorry. But I can point you in the direction of a Storinator. And that's probably, that's probably your best bet is look at the Storinator line. They're very affordable. They're spec'd for FreeNAS, so they are completely compatible with them. And you can price it online. You can just go online, price it out. Like you don't need to come up with a spreadsheet and try to figure out the best deal. Is it the absolute dirt cheapest price? No, you can go hunt down some random JBOD and try to hope there's compatibility with the different controllers you have, but you're going to run into a lot of troubleshooting and fine tuning. Someone messaged me on it. They bought the parts, hodgepodge one together, and having performance issues. I'm like, yeah, it maybe you have to try different cards. You're like, but each card costs this much. I'm like, I know. I don't have an answer. You kind of hodgepodge it together. You're going to have a harder time. The forums are your friend for trying to figure out what the best deals on buying cards are, or buy a Storinator and it comes configured and they tell you it's for FreeNAS. These are the compatible parts. So it's kind of it's which way ever you want to do it. I mean, I don't have a better answer than that. Actually, Unix Surplus, if you're looking for some of the smaller used FreeNAS servers, we even bought one from there ourselves. I couldn't beat the price. I couldn't build it for what I can buy it used for. And they have a warranty and everything you can get them with. Or ServerMonkey, you can buy some good deals from there. What else we got here? Happy New Year from Canada. Hello, my friends to the north. Windows 95, yeah. Call Linus. Hold on. Get started on cable structure cabling licenses there. Look at our tool video. Get all the tools. Licensing, that's on you. Every state has their own rules. Michigan does not. So if you're in Michigan, I can at least speak to that. We don't have any rules on structure cable licensing, so you're good. But out of here, it's a hit and miss on different states and different countries and whether or not you need licensing. I'm finally doing more dev work as well. Software, yep. Is it a pizza night? We had pizza yesterday, so no pizza tonight. I don't know what they're eating in my house. I gotta go there soon and play Smash Brothers. Why did Marvin leave? Didn't work out. He moved on to another position. So let's see here. What else we got? Moving from PHP to Node apps, easier transition, I thought. Yep. In the IT domain, what makes me despair? All the insecurity stuff. And I don't know. I don't really have a lot of despair in it. It's all just one more challenge to solve. I don't really get despaired over any of it. So I don't know. It's sometimes disappointing when companies don't spend a lot on security, but that's just a numbers game of how much do we spend on security versus what's the risk we're mitigating. What else we got here? I have a hodgepodge of parts for my FreeNAS. Works great. With much research and forums first. Yes. I mean, the forums will help you. And if you go in there and type in, like, this model or that model LSI card or something like that. They will tell you which ones are like more favorable, work better, things like that. There's plenty of information in the forums on there. But if you want like a turnkey, I just want to buy it and not spend time researching it. This is just like, buying a gaming computer. It's finding all the research of which the best video card combination with the motherboard. It's a lot of channels are, very much into that. So it's a lot of work. It's you either put the time in there or you pay a little more, which is buying a Storinator where it's just pre-configured and has a big, nice, their 45 drives company. Let's see. I need more than 100 terabytes for my video editing staff. I now have 40 terabyte FreeNAS server and it's built my own, but some people complain about performance. FreeNAS with hard drives more than 50. FreeNAS, it comes down to the specs on the system. If you don't configure it properly, you can build, and I have clients with very large FreeNAS storage that's fast, but you have to build it properly. It can be done, but you can't do it on cheap hardware and then complain that it's FreeNAS. It's like when people complain to me, PSS can't route more than this speed. They tell me their specs, and I'm like, you don't have the right specs. There's no way it'll route faster than that because the hardware you've chose doesn't route that. That's the problem with any software-defined firewall. It's reliant on the hardware, so you can't blame the firewall software until you have first explored the hardware to see if it properly is supported by that software. Hey, thank you, Not Public, for the donation here of $20. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, everything needs to be secure first, part of functionality. Yeah, I can agree with you all day, but we know there's compromises made all the time with companies. Looking at you, Equifax. I just use FreeNAS, eventually turn back to my tried and true pure Linux OS, configure everything by hand. Yeah. Yes, I plan to do more videos about Zabbix, so definitely going to be doing that. I just got to lay it out which ones and what order I want to do them and think about it. My overview apparently was really popular, and a lot of people have had a lot of discussion and thoughts on it, so I'm excited to do more videos on it. Quick poll question. We have a customer that has a Dell PowerEdge, maybe 610, runs with 2.5-inch hard drives. The storage capacity isn't there. Should try to move PowerEdge 3.5 drive. I don't know, get an external storage server, get a FreeNAS, tie it into Active Directory, get any box to tie it in there and, move their files and storage over somewhere else. That's definitely an option. Or get them anywhere faster, bigger server. I'm looking to consolidate my NAS and VMware ESX slab into FreeNAS 11.2. Oh, that one went away. Hold on, where did that go? Did you delete it? I have not used any FreeNAS VM for any of the production because I'm not very familiar or trustworthy yet of the Beehive BSD. It's very limited. It's not near as nice as some of the other hypervisors. So, but I welcome people to use it, even though I'm not. It's a great learning curve. Play with it and bug report it to make it better. The product never gets better if no one uses it, no one bug reports it. So, yeah. Definitely take a look at that. I'm not saying not to play with it, but I'm telling you I can't advise you a lot of it. Yeah, I hate MikroTik, so that's my decided there. They have just they have a device that is terribly stupid to configure. Yes, it's cheap. Yes, it has lots of features. That's the only two redeeming qualities I can say about MikroTik. Beyond that, it's unduly complicated to get things done. It's just too many steps. The documentation's not great. People keep asking me to do videos on it because the documentation's so poor. After we've worked with them, we just did some configuration with them. We got them all working, but I'm like, this was just harder. Everything about them was harder than it needed to be. Why? People are like, well, I like the command line. I like, fine, have at it. It's an overly complicated firewall that I can't figure out why I should use. It's not cheap enough to make it a compelling product to me. It doesn't save me so much money that I go, wow, this bad interface, I saved a lot of dollars using it. No, I'm not an ASCII 2 member. I actually don't belong to any of those groups. I've considered them. It's just never really, it's on my list. I've been asked to speak at one of the events recently. I'm not going to say which one. I turned it down. I thought maybe I'll not turn it down next time when I'm asked to speak at another event. They know I do public speaking, so I've been asked. They just didn't want to pay me enough. They just wanted to buy me a ticket. And I said, no. They didn't want to pay for my flight. I mean, I'm cheap, but I'm not that cheap. Was trying to do pfSense HA cart, but ISP gives out IP via DHCP. Doesn't seem to be possible. You are correct. It's not. That is a problem you're going to have if you're trying to do cart. You need to get static IP address. Let's see. These are questions rolling by fast today. I'm trying to have trouble keep up. It was awesome. Can you say that a firewall DPI IDS is just an expensive router? I don't understand that question. That a firewall with DPI IPS off is just, sure, yeah, I guess it's just an expensive router. So, yes. Oh, and I see Kyle answering that they just can use the G-Sync Outlink tool on there, so that's correct on that. So, awesome. Got those questions answered. I'm caught up. I'm at the bottom of the scroll list, so it's easier now. Actually, I got to pop this chat out. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier, because it does make it a little bit bigger of a screen. There we go. I can see more. More power. Cool. More readability, too. All right. So, the new year so far has kicked off with internal auditing and things like that. So it's also part of the reason we're not doing videos. We got quotes. I finally got some of the quotes out and everything else, and it's been a lot of fun. But we have a whole. I'm so excited to start covering. They're still on the table over here from the other day. Crap, I can't reach it. There we go. The Cadmium network stuff. We've been playing with this. It's been great. So this is exciting to go start doing some videos on that. And let's see, someone asked again about the ASCII. No, I do not belong to ASCII or any of the organizations at the moment. I may join one day, but not today. I don't know. I don't really like I like hanging out with other tech people. I love being in forums and stuff, and I go to tech events. I love Linux conferences. I don't know if I'd like an IT conference as much. I might go to one of them. I haven't picked one, but I have a couple that have been offered a deal to go to, so I might go by a couple of them and stop in and say hi. So, what else did someone ask? There was another question I was going to answer, and I lost it already. I planned 110 or 120 gig RAM, 4-core something, 3.0. Go to the FreeNAS forums. They have a whole section on there about that. Proxmox. People have been asking about Proxmox. Because so many of you asked, and I'm so not knowledgeable in Proxmox, I like XCP-NG. Jay LaCroix of Learn Linux TV. I've got a link to him. He's been on my channel a couple times. We did a live stream. He's easy to find. Go to Learn Linux TV. He's doing an entire series of videos on Proxmox. He's already has Getting Started with Proxmox and a few others. He's doing a whole series of Proxmox videos. So I'm not switching to it. He likes Proxmox. It does have really good Docker support, so he's been using it for that. He likes it. I'm on XCP-NG, and I plan to stay. I've watched him set up Proxmox. Matter of fact, I think I'll reveal a little secret. He recorded some Proxmox videos here with some of my equipment that I let him borrow. We have extra servers and things like that, like, used equipment here. So he's got like a whole bunch of videos working on Proxmox that he's going to do. I don't know when he's releasing them all, but he's assembling and putting them all together. So he is going to be your Proxmox go-to person. So no need to ask me. I'm just going to point you at Jay's channel. Let's see. Thing of starting my own in the IT business, difficult. Growing, is a partner risky? Partner's very risky. You're giving up a lot of things for a partner, so yes. That's definitely going to be an issue if you need a partner, because you have to really, really like that partner. I had a partner. It did not go well. He ended up taking some money out of the company, and it was kind of a mess, and I no longer have a partner. That was it. So I've always owned Lawrence Technology since 2003, completely my own. I've had myself partnered on another venture. So I've had other people who partner with me, unrelated to Lawrence Technologies, and other businesses and DBAs I've owned. It was not for very long, and it didn't work out very well. But I could be wrong about that, and you may find the perfect partner who does work out well. So my experience may not be your experience, and you ever heard of Google? They're partners. They seem to do pretty well. So there's examples of success, there's examples of failure. Getting the word out there and the marketing side of the IT, hardest part of it for a lot of people. It's not. It depends on your book of clients and how good you are at converting clients. Docker Kubernetes is cool. I don't really do much with it though. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not much of a Kubernetes or Docker person, but our forms runs in Docker, so there's that. Carp on FreeNAS, go TrueNAS. Carp on FreeNAS is not. It's a pain. It's not easy. It's not built in, baked in. If you want enterprise level support like that, TrueNAS has Carp failover, and I have an entire video on the TrueNAS line of hardware of why you'd want to use it. So yeah. What else do we have here? You can basically do the neat documentation, but yeah, learning curve. Every IT conference I go to seems to be a pep rally for vendors sponsoring it, nothing real value. That's my problem with a lot of them. That's why I like Linux conferences. So, XCP-ng for office rollouts and Proxmox for server virtualization. Sure. There are no tech events here. Help me none. Some said fly to IT Nation, which costs $3,500 or more with the purpose. There we go. Yeah. Always have a written partner. Yes, Skip Olivia talking about the legal side of it. and I'll counter the legal side of it. Your partner agreement is only as good as the lawyers that then represent you in court while you fight over it. So it's a downhill fast. The lawyers win completely. No matter who actually you thought won, both lawyers win really well. They're always happy about when you go that. So let's see. Written agreement. Good luck with it, even a written one. It gets messy no matter what. Why would there be different? If you were to have the same kernel, same system specs, right? You're splitting hairs. There's not always. I could be wrong, and it could be some type of like difference in the way they wrote the operating system and the way they had a flag on a GCC compiler. So I don't know why it would be different speeds for different operating systems. I mean, it's not. If they're using the same kernel, you're going to be really close, but there always could be subtle differences. All depends on how far these operating systems are from each other. You know, Debian and Ubuntu are pretty close, but there's different repositories they're based on, so there may be different values that come out of performance and benchmarks. There's also damn lies, and benchmarks. So I don't always, I don't look at that as, that's usually not the big decider when it comes to it. You use an operating system based on you like the environment better versus the other one. What are my thoughts on virtual desktops? I need a more in-depth question than that. You're probably referring to desktop as a service. That's a band-aid on an industry problem of everything. Once everything goes to the web, why would you? Desktop as a service is very heavy-handed, and it's just kind of moving the problem over. Web-enabling things is the current solution that we're seeing everything move towards. I don't use Fog anymore. Haven't used it in years. So, yeah, that's. Don't really have an opinion on Fog anymore. Great product, great project. We don't need to image computers with it anymore. So preferred firewall, still pfSense is my go-to. That's what protects our company, and we're happy with it. Regional DevOps days are amazing and cheap. I don't know what that means. Yeah, lawyers always win, for sure. You ever see a lawyer go bankrupt? I have. I've known some lawyers that are able to spend at a greater rate. I have done videos on Snort and Suricata. I'm still using Suricata. I'm happy with it. Yeah, the guy with more money wins. Look, everyone plays by the golden rule, and he who has the gold makes the rules. That's still true, yeah. Yeah, go with the lies and damn lies. For property homes or build space is concerned, there's any big concerns running pfSense, FreeNAS VMs through XCP invite. It works. I've run FreeNAS. I do my pfSense in a hypervisor. FreeNAS, you want to run on real hardware, though. Oh, yeah, we got to do some hot sauce videos. That's definitely for sure. There will be more people from Lawrence on videos. I don't know. Most of them, they're busy working. I keep them busy. They're smiling at me. They can see me in the other room now. Yeah, VDI or desktop as a service. Yeah, it's how I feel about it. It's a band-aid. It's not. We're watching like in an insurance industry, and lots of our matter of fact, one of the law firms that we support, they've moved to a completely. It's a really nice system. It looks just like Invoicing, just built on a Laravel PHP framework, and that does all They got rid of everything on site. They're doing everything is now in the cloud for all their billing, all their law billing, all their detail work, how they process cases. It's all a cloud app. They love it. It's really nice. It actually is genuinely nice. And it didn't require them to buy a new server, so now their server can be retired and not replaced. Let's see. Yeah, MikroTik, like I said, very complicated. Overt, no real thoughts on it. It exists. If you want to hand run your virtualization, knock yourself out. I like a framework around it because I need to manage things in an easier manner with groups of people. I'm a bad person to ask about certifications. It depends on what you want to get into. Certifications are probably necessary for a lot of jobs. I don't have any myself because I've not been employed. I've always been an employer, not an employee for the last 15, because this will be my 16th year in business actually this year. So how is the hole in my backyard going? It is filled in. We're just working on the details and the mud pit that's related to it. So yeah. Certs are evidence that people can memorize answers is not always exactly true. Depends on the cert. If you do there's certain certs that actually go through the I'm sure which ones. Some of the hacking ones are pretty intense. Like you have to know some stuff. It's not just regurgitating. They challenge you. There's a lot to them. So. Any recommendation for running Unify in the cloud for a home network? A DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean's great. So I would definitely go for DigitalOcean or Linode. I have offer codes, so I know I have a Linode offer code. I think I have a DigitalOcean one. If not, I'll get you one. Message me or post in the forums. What do you think about developing FreeNAS? Nothing. I mean, the FreeNAS Corel was kind of a mess. FreeNAS 11.2 is the replacement for it. Yeah, my coffee mug does express my feelings of partnerships. For those of you that may have missed it, there you go. That's my feelings on that. Why is Xenifer on my site as an employee? Because it runs all the servers. It's important. Xenifer and Xenifer 2. There's now 2 of them. We just only put one. I don't know. We put it as the rack on there. It's all the stuff in the rack, technically. It's an employee. It works really hard, tirelessly, and for free, except for the electricity we pump into it. What's your opinion about going to the cloud, affect a business like yours? It's part of it's going to the cloud. You still have to have a computer to get to the cloud. It's just part of the way the business has evolved. Actually, I've been in the business long enough that I set up, if you look up how you do multiplexers over modems, I used to set up those. That was one of my first jobs in 1994 was setting up US Robotics 14.4 modems to dial into modem banks, and then we would run a muxer, so all the green screen terminals would like 6 of them or 8 of them would then connect to the US Robotics and then break out into breakout ports into Acer Alto servers. That was our company's preferred server, Unix server manufacturer. So it's kind of funny watching how the cloud evolution worked. First, we hosted the server at our office. We had a dial-in bank for the company I work for. The computers all dialed in and green screened. Then we all had independent applications on our computers. Now they all web in and they're cloud applications. So I've watched it go both ways. That's just where the market's shifting. I'm fine with it. Matter of fact, that's why we're selling so much Wi-Fi installs right now. We put Wi-Fi everywhere. So that's one of our, we just focus on the markets that grow. That's you have to keep shifting in business. Watch my video about owning a computer store. And I talked about how you change and evolve. And if you don't, you go out of business. It's as simple as that. Oh, let's see. Xenifer does most of the work here. That's true. We have a company called the Iron Yard. Came around high schools, and yes, awesome. DigitalOcean or Vultr. I'm happy with DigitalOcean. I have not done. There's other people who've done comparisons of that. 3CX phone systems, not used it. Have a few friends that do. They really like it a lot. So definitely 3CX, nothing to complain about it. I did a little testing with it. I liked it. It's pretty. I have a friend that has like a few hundred deployments of it, and he's really happy with it. So he has a lot of good things to say about it. We're focusing on FreePBX, but I don't think there's anything wrong with 3CX. Yes, I have used their warranty service, and it was amazing. I think I did a video about that, of how quick they did it. It's a server failure video we had, and we were really awesome with it. Elasticsearch for log aggregation, yeah, it's okay. It's just kind of complicated to set up, so I haven't really played much with it. Yeah, US Robotics, they didn't evolve. That's what happened to them. They made a lot of modems. They were really popular, and they didn't evolve, so now they're gone. I don't know what actually... They may be gone, or they're just not where they used to be. Yeah, Graylog is kind of cool, too. I've actually played with it. See, I remember... Yeah, people... Yeah, we can reminisce about the old dial-up modems, for sure. Let's see. GoDaddy for VPS. I hate GoDaddy. Here's an opinion I have. GoDaddy sucks. All right. I don't have an opinion on most of these other ones you're asking me about, but GoDaddy, I dislike them. Let's see. The session border controller is awesome. Firewall config client side. Yep. Unify switch. Hello from Central California. Do you do any Azure for any projects? Yes. Oh, USR became 3Com, which was purchased by HP. That's interesting. I did not follow that. I knew 3Com was purchased by HP. I just didn't know USR became 3Com. It's been a while. Network Solution sucks as well. Yeah, I use Hover for registering my domains. Yeah, 3CX is good. Is Unify VoIP dead? I don't think they made much of a push. They made like a couple phones that I don't know the last time they've had a firmware update, and the reviews on them were all kind of mediocre. So yeah, I guess cool in concept. I don't know if it's an abandoned product from them. They still, honestly, I don't know if they sell them anymore. Unify is a really interesting company. Their Wi-Fi and WISP related things, like their site to sites, are absolutely rock solid, great product. Lots of deployments, really happy. Their other stuff is good, but like I feel like their USG is not the most polished router. It just, so I don't know. It's not a bad thing, but it is what it is. So, yeah, it's strange. So, 3Com used to be awesome. Cat 6 cables are... No, Cat 7 is not a thing. You use Cat 6 or Cat 6A. Cat 7 is not official. FYI. So you either do Cat 6 or Cat 6A. I've been using EasyDNS. Not the cheapest, but I like their attitude. Yeah. We do our own... We have our own hosting servers, so we don't really need anybody else's DNS. So that's not really been a problem with us. I don't think there's any way to get an interview. No one gets an interview with Ubiquiti. They're kind of not reclusive. That's just not their thing. They're not public facing like that. They're actually kind of strange because they send us stuff kind of at random, and I have to do some more videos. I've done a lot of Unify videos. I have a lot more to do. We are really happy. I have to do a couple follow-up videos. One, the bowling alley. They're doing great. And then we've finalized the project for the 300 of them that we installed, so I got to do a video on that. That's going well, so that's going to be like an entire... There's a lot to that video of deploying 300 Unifys. I mean, we're still deploying them at scale for big projects, and they are just running great, so I'm happy with them. So, yeah, but there's kind of a strange company. XG8 router? No. Well, the thing is, you say USG X8. It's just a bigger version of the USG. If they don't have, that I know of, other than speed, any major feature changes between all of them. Do you remotely manage all of your UniFi installations for clients as part of the installation project? Depends. The example would be the 300 one. No, they wanted their own controller on site. So it depends on what deals are negotiated. Other IT companies contract us to set things up, and frequently they have us build the controller for them. So we hand them the keys to the kingdom once we're done installing, configuring, setting up, getting it running. We pass it off to them to manage and update, unless they want to contract us to manage and update. The new HD Nanos. Haven't played with them. Yeah. Yeah, they're asking about the routers. Like I said, I like their product, but they just, yeah. Let's see. You are a huge influencer for UniFi products, so you must be able to get some response from them. I've spent $10,000 on their kit since discovering your vids, and I'm sure others have too. Oh yeah. Just get the calculator out real quick. The customer bought 300 APC HDs at an MSRP of $349. I'm assuming they got a discount for buying 300 at a time. Run the math on 300 times $349. So we have certainly, and because of our videos, that's how the project came to be, we have certainly influenced the sale of many, many UniFis. I have an Amazon affiliate link for those of you that would like to help out the channel and buy it from there. And I can see, they give me quantities, not people's names. I see the quantities of UniFi bought. We've sold some product, so we've sold a lot of them. I don't know that there's any MPLS support in UBT routers and switches. Yeah, I didn't think there's any in there. So yeah, well over $100,000. You are correct. So people are way better at calculating things than me. So that one job, $100,000. Now that was just for that. The other side of that job, that's just the easy number to throw out there. There was 18 1100 watt 48 port switches, and so I think that's most of the project was those two. Those are the two big dollar amount projects on there. So yeah, that's another $12,000 or $15,000 worth of switches. Well, more than that, because the switches are $1,000 each. That's like $18,000 worth of switches went into that project. So yeah, just my videos, that particular project, before you add on, any other details that may have gone with it or other products that are bought later from UniFi, like the initial project rollout was, we got $120,000 worth of UniFi products sold. Let's see. Yeah, that's not the labor, but UniFi doesn't care how much I get paid. Maybe they do. They like to see me succeed. I think they're nice people, but that's not how they're going to measure their success, is how much Tom made on the job. If you're running any WAN infrastructure, you need MPLS for ultra cheap case for MikroTik. So, yeah, it is. But anytime we see things at the corporate level of MPLS, we see Cisco. Not MikroTik. So, ZFS uses full disk, not parts. You need at least 2 physical disks to make a pool. Yes. Let's see. Do you use UniFi switches? We do. We like them. We use them. We love when you use them with UniFi deployments, or even when you don't. They're happy stuff. Having trouble installing FreeNAS 11, select OK at the console screen, doesn't proceed to the next step 1. Post in the forums, and that is your best bet. They're much more helpful because they've solved a lot of those. Google the motherboards you have and start sorting it out. Those are the pain in the butt ones to sort out, I know, but there's not a lot I can really help with. Have you gotten your hands on the UniFi LEDs? They're neat. I've not tested them, no. I've seen people test them. I think Willie did a test on them. Out of all, you said how many devices have failed? Fun story. So the answer that we've actually only seen a handful of the power bricks fail. We've had 0 of all the switches we deployed fail. We've had 0 of their, this is the crazy number, and I got to try to break it down better because so many times our clients bought them and we did the install, but we have not been out to replace any bad UniFi access points. Like, it's amazing the number we've installed and not seen any bad. I'm blown away with it, like, seriously. But I will say a lot of companies are getting really good at manufacturing things. So just in general, from my tech in 20 years, I see less failures of a lot of products, but I'm impressed when I see the quantity we've seen with the UniFi and only ever had a couple bad power bricks. And that power brick, whatever, it was a really minor thing. The light didn't come on it. We swapped it for another one, and it works. So, yeah. I've been really, really happy. The performance of them is great. They're very inexpensive. And when we sell them to clients, frequently we'll have them buy some spares. That way they have the same model on site, plugged in a back room, ready in case something in their infrastructure goes bad. They can just go swap it. Any advice for converting healthcare clients? Be careful in that industry. I have friends, and myself included, have lost lots of healthcare clients because in our area right here, Beaumont bought up all the doctors, and they have all internal IT. About 2 years ago, they switched to 100% internal, no contractors, period. So all those clients went bye-bye. So you got to be careful in that industry. If a conglomerate like that comes in, you can lose them all as clients because they don't want external risk. And I understand their perspective on it. This is their reasoning behind it that they've kind of given. The vendor, the medical facility, is the one at risk for a HIPAA violation, fines, or anything related to it. Even if you are the one who screwed up, they then have to downstream sue you while they are held accountable for their HIPAA violation. But because of that, they like to control things as best they can by keeping it all internal. So I get it. That's why they want to do it like that. Yeah, total physical hardware, $1,595. So yeah. Let's see. Can PFSense do 10 gig? Yes. Did I see the Linus video? That Linus video was a mess, but that's kind of the point of the Linus video. Is it wouldn't, if it was perfectly smooth sailing, it wouldn't be fun to watch. So I seen the Linus video. PFSense will do 10 gig. Got to have 10 gig cards. Simple as that. It can do it. Do chance try PFSense? Now I'm on the UniFi. I find the purpose that it counts. Oh, someone keeps asking me about, I got to do a video on why I'm not using OpenSense. No compelling use case. It offers me no features. One person commented that they've integrated the OpenVPN XOR protocol for obfuscation of DPI systems. I don't have a use case for that, so that's the only feature that someone pointed out besides having built-in two-factor of why they like OpenSense. It has a too frequent of an update cycle, and people I know that are using it have moved back to PFSense because they didn't like the limiting features it has, like not as many features as PFSense. So I don't have a use case for it. Nope, I've never tried the LifeX. I don't have any type of things like that, LifeX or any of the IoT stuff. I don't know. I just turn my lights on and off with a switch. I'm really old school that way. I like light switches. I haven't really gone beyond them. See, Kyle remembers 12 Mile or some Wi-Fi. Yeah. 4 SSA per Wi-Fi UniFi, limiting factor. I don't know why I need more SSIDs. Most of the time we have like a guest network for clients. They have their main network, a guest network, and sometimes a middle network. We rarely see more than 2, sometimes 3. That's it. So, hey, awesome, David. Glad you caught the live show today. Awesome. So, what flavor VPN do you recommend for edge routers? I don't recommend edge routers for VPN. That's kind of my general answer. They're just harder to set up. Willie's got some videos on it. They'll do IPsec. They'll do some of it, but they're just more work. So it's not like PFSense or even Untangle. Both those firewalls are a couple clicks for a VPN, and then you have the edge routers, and yeah. They're not bad. You got to take the time, RTFM. I've not seen the AP Pros fail. We've got a ton of these installed. We've been installing UniFi since 2013, so I'm not speaking like I just discovered the company. We still have the 2013 one is on the other side of the wall. It's still plugged in. It works great. It's only a 2.4. It's the old original green ring, not blue ring one, and it still works. We have a lot of those deployed to clients, and they are working fine. What's your opinion on Netgear? I've seen multiple businesses use their cheap managed switches. That's why there's a lot of them. There's their cheap managed switches. They seem to work. I don't have anything bad. We've seen a handful of them in places. We don't rip them out because we see them. We just kind of say, yeah, it's there. So they work. Ain't broke, don't fix it. We don't do that a lot. We have a competitive bid from it. And maybe I'm going to do a breakdown video after my meeting with my client. So another MSP bidding against us, kind of, sort of bidding against us, if you want to call it that. They came in and are just pitching stuff that doesn't make a lot of sense. But they came in and looked. Their proposal to take over as MSP requires them to rewire their building. We have 2 Unify APC HDs in our building that work fine because the company has like 20 salespeople working there. They all have laptops and they come and go, so everyone connects wirelessly. They said you can't do that. You have to, one, all they do is plug them in. There is wiring infrastructure in the building. 2, they want to remove all their access points. And I'm like, okay. They don't even ask to take them over. They're like, we rip them all out because they want to sell them on Meraki and everything else with recurring fees and that are substantially higher than Unify. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So we see that sometimes, like they just, and I get it. If you want your business to be more cookie cutter, that's fine. That's the way you want to run it. You can, and then you just rip everything out so every client of yours has exactly the same materials and there's never any question. It is easier. It's way easier to do it that way. I'm not going to lie. If you want to run your business in the simplest way possible, force every client to have exactly the same hardware, and now you've made it simple. And force that hardware to be Meraki, and force them to pay the licenses and build recurring revenue on there. If your goal is just to get in this business to be cookie cutter and make money, Meraki is not a bad product. It is not a cheap product. They make a good quality product. Settle on it and do that, and you can make money in this business. You just have to have a good sales guy out there, and they have to then talk them out of going with people like me. So it's not a bad idea. It works. So do you use any Dell or do you issue Dell or HP to customers? All the time. There's a brand new Dell server in the tech area that they're loading right now with a RAID 10, one of their T-Series servers that's going in as a replacement to replace another old Dell server. So all the time. We use a lot. Not as many HP. We see more Dell than HP. But we have both. Yeah, awesome. I see that Mr. Jolman there, you're supplying it with a MakerTik. It's not that MakerTik can't be used for things. You just got to take the time to configure it. That's all. Oh, the Chromecast hack. Yeah, they were open to the world. People opening stuff with UPnP and goofing with stuff. That happens. I didn't read all the details. I seen the headline. I right away assumed it was some type of UPnP thing. I have not read into it, but probably makes sense. Let's see. Have you ever done Radius Auth on Active Directory for login? With some commercial products, yes. I actually am going to be doing a pfSense with Radius server coming soon video, because that's one of the deployments we did, and I realized that there wasn't good documentation on it. I mean, there's documentation from them, but I actually got a little disappointed. I posted on Reddit about how to do it, and I got downvoted when I asked questions, and the pfSense people, the Netgate folks, didn't even reply. Like, really? You're going to downvote me for breaking down and detailing out my questions on Reddit and downvote me for it? And I'm like, really? Whatever. I didn't post it in the forums, so... Yeah, people leaving UPnP on and consumer routers. There was a series of, I don't remember exact models, but there was a few consumer routers, either by Netgear or Linksys, one of those, that even though you unchecked the UPnP box to turn it off because it was on by default, it didn't turn off. The checkbox it just made you feel good. It didn't actually work. Any customer servers on Small Business Server 2003? I hope not. Or 2008. Actually, I don't think there was a 2008 SBS server. The last version of SBS server was 2011. After that, they moved to the Server Essentials. And we do have, the Server Essentials is for small offices with less than 25 people that need a server. We do have some of those deployed. For clients that don't have high levels of server demand, they usually just have a handful of employees, like 8 or 9 people, and an office will never get bigger than that, and they just need some place to store some of the data. Hi from Slovakia. Awesome. My ancestry is from there. They're from, I don't remember where. I can't remember the name of the town. That's where my great-grandfather was from, Slovakia. I'm listening to the snowplow clear the parking lot. Yep, we're not here. It's raining. Well, it was not raining now, but it's been raining here the last couple days. I never have to turn on UPnP on UniFi. I've just never, anything we plugged in for businesses, we haven't. And at my home, I have Chromecast. I don't have UPnP on. It works. Should we get an office for a central place? Up to you if you want to get an office. There's reasons. I don't know. Do you have a use case for it? I won't lie. Chris from Crosstalk, he's got numerous people working from him, and they all work from home, and he runs a very successful company that way. Different perspective. Depends on how you want to run your company. What's the deal with short Mickey Mouse power cords on the Edge router? Don't know. Reddit will downvote anything. Reddit will upvote everything, too. I don't know. I've got some love on Reddit. I don't know. It happens. Yeah, there's a lot of the Chromecast built into TVs. We see that all the time. We see it wide open networks and not separated. That happens. Yes, another hack for PewDiePie. Provide duct tape support for local church running SBS 2003. Yeah, that's old. Roseville cases, not bad. I've used them. They're not bad. Set up DFS and namespaces for your clients? Not really. I need to expand on that question more. What is the better question you're asking? Oh, there is an SBS 2008? I thought 2011 was SBS, not 2008. I didn't know they made an SBS. I remember they had a 2011 version. I don't see a lot of them. What do I think of Unraid? Don't have a use case. It's neat. There's a guy called Space Invader 1, does some videos on it. He knows more than me about it. I've never used it. I've looked at it. It doesn't run ZFS. Therefore, I run FreeNAS because it runs ZFS. So, but if you want to use Unraid, I don't think it's a bad product. Like I said, there's Space Invader 1 has a bunch of good videos on it. 16 inches of snow. Awesome. How do you go about selling a move to Server Essentials? Version companies heavily dependent on publishing limits. Cost adverse. Asking for a friend. Good luck. You know, here's maybe I'm going to put together some of my fun sales lines and scripts I've done. One of them is, all right, man, are you sitting down? Before I tell you this price, I got to make sure you're sitting down. I don't want you to fall over or hurt yourself. I use a lot of humor to break the ice before you tell someone it's going to be like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to migrate their server because it's a disaster. There's no easy way to do it. Do it with a smile. You know, joke around. I know most people, I don't lend myself to being overly serious when I'm like, hey guys, this is like $35,000 what you're asking for. You know, we just had a guy that wanted to migrate his mailbox. We have a flat rate we do for mailboxes, and we gave him the price, and he got sticker shocked. He's like, just to migrate my mailboxes? I'm like, yeah, all 50 of them, we'll migrate them. He's like, that's kind of a lot of money. I was like, kind of it is. But what do you want me to do? It's going to be over 10 grand to get your mailbox moved, dude. I mean... use Microsoft MPS Radius Server for EAP authentication. Has worked well. I've heard it works well. I just haven't really used it much. So the EAP authentication, you can also use, what do you call it? You can use a couple things. You can use FreeRadius. You can use the FreeRadius tied into the Microsoft server. So there's a few different ways you can do authentication. NS Tech, have I used Proxmox? Go to Learn Linux TV. They have used Proxmox. That's the best Proxmox channel out there. Jay's a friend of mine. He uses Proxmox. I don't use Proxmox. I don't have time to learn it. I've looked at it. It's cool. But maybe one day we'll do some type of comparison video. But honestly, they have a ton of the same features. There's a ton of crossover between them of how the features are. So, yeah, for someone... Yeah. What do I think of Zentel controller? I've looked at it. Looks interesting. Nothing compelling about it. Yeah, people use it without FreeNAS and pfSense. People use it with substandard hardware and complain. That's the same problem. You know, I'll give a shout out to Unify because all this controversy around their software, but Unify has that problem too. Anytime someone contacts me about the problems they're having and how, oh my gosh, this Unify video is all garbage, and I find out they're trying to run 30 cameras with like a machine that's dying, I'm like, it's not garbage. You get your Pentium Core 2 Duo, throw in the garbage, and build a real server to handle the volume of data you're throwing at it. So, BitTitan, my secret sauce for, and I say there's no secrets in business because there's no secrets in business. We use BitTitan for the migration of emails. Good software. It works well. Let's see. Problem with servers, you need 2 and licensing adds up. Yeah, licensing that's a thing. It's part of the, quote, part of the process. Seen a lot of videos on configuring VLANs, but no design on what should go on what VLAN. I kind of did a video where I just talked about that. My home business network has a mix of personal and business devices. I have a video where I talk about putting things on that. So look at it's like 2 videos ago about pfSense and IoT. And I kind of talk about some of the threat models. USB mirrored USB sticks for FreeNAS. I don't have a reason not to use them. Someone says you can't. I said why? I have been. So if you want something a little bit more professional, I guess it's a matter of opinion, but people do like the SATA DOMs. And if you look at the TrueNAS systems, I believe they still ship with SATA DOM in mirror mode. Use a mirror. Whatever you decide to do, whether you use a USB stick or whether you use a SATA DOM, use a mirror. If you use an SSD, you're wasting a lot of space, but still use a mirror. Use a mirror. Or triple mirror. You can triple mirror. I know I had a device fail just the other day, and I'm glad I had a mirror because it just becomes a pull out, replace, swap, move on with my day without any downtime. Nope, never tested Meraki cameras. Any use for QA and Q? Not really. Yep, buy 2 quality USB thumbsticks. Yeah, buy a couple brand name ones like, SanDisk. You can buy some high durability ones or something. But as long as they're in a mirror, and you could, I think, even produce like a triple mirror, quadruple mirror. It doesn't support like Z, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think you can actually build a RAID Z out of them, but you can build mirrored sets out of them for redundancy. And that's fine. Just build a mirrored set and life is good. Moving on-site to Exchange. Sometimes it's on-site to Exchange. Sometimes it's we just moved someone off Network Solutions. We moved another person off of Rackspace over to Office 365. We moved someone from Rackspace to G Suite. We moved someone from Network Solutions to G Suite. We move people all over the place. It's kind of, we're moving email a lot. That's actually a big part of things we do. I have an interesting question for you as a business owner of 15 years. Out of all the software you have used over the years, what you say has changed the most? Virtualization is magic. I love it. That's my favorite thing. If you would have told me, or I had the vision, I would have apparently started ESX if I had the vision for it in VMware, that you could virtualize all the things I'd always worked on and then take a live running virtual machine and just move it from place to place. I do this like anytime I got to upgrade our Xenifer pool and XCP-ng. I just take the live VMs, move them all to one server, upgrade the server, move all the live VMs to the other server, upgrade the server, and I usually just leave them at the last server. But it's amazing. I don't have to have downtime. I can upgrade physical and swap. I've swapped out the hardware. I've upgraded the physical hardware for our network without ever shutting down any of the machines that manage our business. That's magic. That is wonderful. I know how it all works, but it's cool. That's like a wonderful innovation in the market, and it's one of my favorite things still. Like downtime is just, and that's only getting better. Every iteration of this software, every year that type of thing gets better. So that's still my favorite magic I've seen over the 15 years. And I've been working in tech my whole life. So it's been, I say when I got paid is 15 years in business, working in tech for 23 years, like 94 was my first job. So was that 20, however many years ago that was, 25 years ago. And then before that, it was a hobby. So, yes. Nope, Marv left LTS. Marv no longer works here. He don't live here no more. Do you use fixed hour rates? Yep. Meraki only stores footage locally, so if they take the camera, we lose all the footage. That seems dumb. I don't know much about the Meraki cameras to tell you if that's true or not. I'm flexible in how we work with our clients, whether they buy hours, they pay hourlies, they're break fix, they're MSP. I don't succumb to a single mode of operation. So, I'm not like a one-trick pony where, no, we're only MSP. If you don't want to sign my contract, you will not use my services. We don't work that way. I mean, I guess we could, and I see a lot of MSPs are hard-nosed about that, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. We will keep taking clients that don't mind doing it. We have some clients that spend a lot of money with us. Matter of fact, that's part of the reason we got the big job with the 300 Unifies is because we didn't want to manage it. We were willing to give it to them when it was done because they have an internal IT team. The other companies they talked to wanted to own it and have monthly fees, and that's what they were already getting away from another company that was doing it that way. So there's money to be made. It is a problem, and I'm going to do some videos on this of why you want to and why you don't want to. The MSP model can be very interesting because you know what's very consistent? Every Friday, all my staff wants to cash their paycheck. Every Friday. It's amazing, like clockwork. These guys want to cash their check. So when you have this recurring payroll thing going on, oh, and by the way, the lights in the building, every month I have to pay that. So you have all these recurring, I know how much it's going to cost. So it is nice having an MSP model because that creates recurring revenue versus chasing the jobs. So there is a reason for it. But that's why the hybrid approach works for me. The MSP model actually pays the bills, and we can make payroll. I got to break the numbers out, but we always make payroll. But I'm trying to remember if I can make payroll with just MSP right now, probably. But it's nice having the jobs that come in, the one-offs and things like that as well. I'm going to do some videos and break down some of the real logic behind here and some of the business thought into it and how you come up, because it'll lead to how you come up with your pricing. I'm not telling you how to do the pricing. I'm telling you how I come up with pricing and some of my thought processes to it. I'm going to do that as a separate. I have a lot of MSP videos I want to work on. We work out a fixed fee per mailbox with some. We do a little investigation, try to figure out how many mailboxes they have and how much mail there is. But most of the time, the quantity of mail doesn't change anything but time. And I'm not going to bill you hourly for mail. It doesn't make any sense because if you have to move 20 gigs of mail, it's going to take a while, but it doesn't take any more of my time. It's to set it up and watch the paint dry, man. You just click it and watch the bar go across. We're able to do something else. The client is aware of that. So you don't charge by, well, you got a lot of gigs, I'm charging you by the gig. We charge you by the rate to do the configuration, the orchestration. We hit the go button, and away we go. Let's see. VMs have made real proper backups possible. Yes. I'm going to do maybe tomorrow morning I'll get this done. I'm going to do a video on Delta backups and continuous backups and hot VMs on XCP-ng. It's how we do things, and it works really well. Oh, you worked in IT 1999. How was Y2K? That was a lot of fun. I was a Y2K auditor. That was a sad title I had. We had to put stickers on everything because we had to roll the clocks forward, and we had to do these testing, and we had to put stickers on Y2K certified stuff. And I am always someone who couldn't help but prank, so I had Y2K stickers on everything. I didn't care if it didn't have a clock. I still Y2K stickered it because it was me being fun. I had a lot of fun with it. 2038 is the end of the world for anyone that's really wondering. If you want to learn anything, if I learned anything from Y2K, it's that the world's going to end in 2038. And look that up. That's the Unix time. I'm not. That's what the Mayans really should have had on the calendar was 2038. We found a few things. Oh wait, I just funny that someone else posted 2038 is a real issue. Yep. The MSP that I work for works in projects for $175 an hour. This is one of those things I've talked about a lot over the time across my videos. I don't have a specific video on it, but I mentioned it just the other day. Again, where you live will dramatically affect the price. The median income average in Southgate, Michigan. We are in Southgate. We're just south of Detroit. I think the median income average is like 40-something thousand dollars a year. Drive 45 miles maybe, not far, north of Detroit. So we're 15 miles south. Detroit's a pretty big area. Go north of Detroit. Median income average, $110,000 a year. You will charge a different rate when you live in an area that people on average make $110,000 a year, because everything else in perspective is also going to go up in price. The real estate, a house in Oakland County, which is that place north of here, goes for more than double what a house goes for here. And you mentioned Napa, California. Oh yeah, my house, I live in a 2,000 square foot ranch house on an acre with 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. And if you're living in California, you're going, wow, you live in a big house. And no, in California, my house is worth like millions of dollars. It's barely worth $200,000 here in Downriver, Michigan. So yeah, that's just your pricing has to kind of reflect the area, the clientele you're working with, the critical nature or non-critical nature of the systems. Are they 100% can't survive with 5 minutes of downtime because they work in a financial sector and every second means a lot to them? Then they can pay the high-end fees, and it's going to be a different level of work. It's going to be a different level of product than companies that are in the manufacturing that when the computer goes down, they're like, yeah, we all took the day off because the computers are down. We went fishing. It's hard to sell critical backup servers to a client that goes, it only takes a few days to get it back. We're just going to close for a few days. We wanted to go fishing anyways. I've had that as an answer. So very different things. Do you prefer WD Red for storage? Yeah, WD Reds are nice. They make good hard drives. HGST here makes some faster ones. WD Reds are nice too, though. Unix stickers, 64-bit time. Yeah, 2038 is really the end. That's true. Thank you, Not Public, for another donation. Do you pay the license fee for filters? No, there's no license fee for filter rules on pfSense. So thank you, Not Public, for donation. No, there's not a license fee for filter rules. Ever try OpenSense? No, I don't plan to. There's no compelling use case I have for it. It's been asked a couple times, but thank you for joining the live show. Do you know any programming language or recommend a programming language? No, I kind of, I suck at Bash, but I can get through it. I'm not great at it. Look at my GitHub. I can make it happen, but not great. I discerned that I will Airbnb an address when I ask you for a bid. Let's see. What do we got here? The last MSP I dealt with use pool of hours model. Never liked it as they had no incentive to work efficiently. Yeah, well, there's always going to be companies that are bad at it. Some companies that are good at it. Yeah, my house would be worth 3 subway footlongs in Detroit. Yeah, there's very different. Detroit proper is all over the place too. Demographics are so strange when it comes to all that. What is my favorite Linux show? Currently running Pop! OS, Debian on servers, Ubuntu on the desktop, or Pop! OS, which is a very slight derivative of Ubuntu. Hidden Tech, $5. Thanks for the donation. Let's see. I see people speaking in a language I don't speak. I'm sorry, I am not bilingual. What's my GitHub address? Look up Lawrence Systems GitHub. You'll find it. No Dutch here. Oh, it's Dutch. I am, like I said, apologize. I am not bilingual. I am jealous because I've always wanted to learn another language, not just programming. I never took the time to do it. I never put the effort in. Pop! OS is cool. Went to the launch of their desktop. Yes, they make some neat stuff. Would you ever set up a site LTS branch, different city, state? I'm open to it. It's all about finding the right people. So having another branch open up is definitely an interesting idea. The problem is, and the reason any tech franchise fails is because they go, hey, why am I paying you part of my wages when you're not here? And then every tech I know, and many of you probably in this live stream right now, how many of you started your IT business because you worked for a guy, you learned the structure, and then you left? And you said, why am I giving commission? So if I open up another location in our city state, because you are in my branding and marketing, you build your client base, and you go, Why would I give a percentage of my revenue to the upstream? And that's why every franchise has come to that answer when it comes to tech, and they fall apart. So it's not easy to do it that way because there's not a big upstream. But I am thinking about offering as a consulting service, helping people set up their tech, because let's just have, instead of having the messy franchise agreement and then you go, well, I want to break away from you and everything else, well, let's skip the messy breakup. Why don't you just hire me to consult and get your business started? And once it's started, you're on your own and you can contract for consulting on an as-needed basis. That's kind of a thing I'm thinking about setting up to help people out. That way they can get started in tech, they can get the structure going, help them with the building, the lease, like the infrastructure build, and then you pay me as a consultant to make this happen, and then away you go, little birdie, and you can be on your own. You don't have to pay me ever again unless you want to. Hidden Tech, thank you for $5. And who's my biggest competitor? I don't know. That question has come before. I don't know exactly, because there's not a lot of other tech companies even left. Another one, it's my video was about the other day, another one went out of business. So I don't really have a direct competitor in my area. There are other MSPs, but I so rarely bump up against them. So I don't look at them as direct competitors. There's a few other tech companies, but I couldn't even really name any of them. One of them I think is a competitor, but I've never taken a client from them, and to my knowledge, they've never taken a client from me. There's a place called NewMind. I met some of them. They seem like really nice people. They seem really smart. Don't know much else about them. Met them at a business event. So I don't know much about any of the competitors, or really drew a circle on it. I don't really bump into that. Are all of your customers ESXi? Nope, not all. Some. I prefer XCP-ng, but yeah, we'll do ESXi too. I have those as well. For a franchise model, the franchisor must give great value to the franchisee. Most of this is brand and supply chain support. Yeah, but that's exactly true. That works great for McDonald's. That does not work well for tech, because how can I get better value to you than you can just go buy directly for any vendor? And the majority of IT work is billable knowledge, is having knowledge of how to fix something and be able to bill for that knowledge. So what advantage does the franchise offer in that case? IT is a bunch of smart people that have the ability to do a skill, organized together, doing that skill to make computers work for a client more than anything else. So the franchise model, it just kind of doesn't offer enough value for IT. That's why you don't see. Matter of fact, here's some stats for you. IT in the U.S. is about a $36 billion a year market. The small business IT that I do, $36 billion a year market with 0 major players. Think about that. 0. You can't find another $36 billion a year market with 0 major players. There's just name the big IT franchises outside the Geek Squad. And I know you're laughing at even considering them an IT franchise, but technically, I guess they kind of are. So let's see. How do I get on your list to consult? You contact me. You want for me to consult you? There's a form on our website. That's how you reach out to me, or post in the forums. The huge one's installed. It's up and running and working. The 300 APs, that's all done. Yeah, my biggest competitor is who I was yesterday. I definitely look at myself as that. Yeah, that's a good. I like that answer. Yeah, there's people I know in the IT business. Like I said, they're nice. I get along with them. So, do I ever set up smart home solutions? Nope, I don't really get into that. Yes, Kyle mentioned we have a contactor. Sunny enough, Geek Squad. These guys that do the on-site work are actually pretty good. I've seen them client emergencies while on vacation. The Geek Squad is hit and miss. The problem is and I don't know, recently I haven't looked into it. They used to not pay their staff very well. So Geek Squad was a stepping stone for people getting into tech. And if you were good, you moved on quickly. If you were not good, you kind of lived there forever. And so some techs were really good because they were on their way up in their journey. And other ones are really bad as they were, they just never were good enough to leave Geek Squad. Fusion Storm tried to bid on a project we were doing. They were double the price of the local MSP. As you tip your mug again. Yes. And my mug is about empty. How long have we been doing this? I have to wind down shortly here. Wow, there's 218 of you. I think this could be a new record. This is amazing. I have no idea how long I've been doing this for, though. So how long has the live stream been on? Where does it tell me this? Where is this information at? Hour 24 minutes. Wow, that's impressive. I probably should leave soon. Nope, never tried Observium. So haven't tried it. Franchise model IT, totally true. Even the big IT house is dying because it's easier to get good pricing from Cisco direct to Unify products, good enough for SMB. Yep. Geek Squad is more about selling new stuff, not fixing. Oh yeah, it's part of their process. They're trying to upsell and sell product and sell warranties more than anything else. But yes, I know my video. We work with the engineers at IX Systems. They're great people. I really like IX Systems. Great company. I have a client thinking about going to Office Max for support. Well, good luck. Let's see. 84 minutes ago, says YouTube. 1 hour and 25, 124. Started at 4:12. I guess it depends on where you're at. I think it was 5:12 here. So yeah, 4:12 Central Time. You're right. Because it was 5:12 Eastern Time. Time zones are fun. They create complications. So I used to be an IT director for a large transportation provider, what we refer to as Tier 1 Ford provider. So we manage logistics for Ford. And that's my first encounter learning time zones of everything. What phones do we use for ePBX? We are using, what are those cordless phones? They're the most popular ones out there. Chris actually recently did a review. What cordless phones are those, Eric? What's our phones called? What brand are those? I can't remember now. The name's right on the tip of my tongue. Yealink. Yealink. We use Yealink cordless phones. We also have some Cisco's floating around. You've maybe seen them in a video or two. And then I use my Zoiper on cell phones. That's I paid version of Zoiper. So, yeah, Yealink. Everyone knows what it is. Slovakia 40. Yes. We have tested, actually, Proxmox product really wins on features, just a few. It has built-in web interface. It supports snapshots, OVM, UEFI, etc. Really like it. So here's the problem. And this is what me and Jay talked about. Proxmox as a standalone, great. Proxmox as I want to manage 60 servers in a cluster, doesn't do so well. So it comes down to scalability, and there's a lot of very large companies that are using the Zen server and XCP-ng. Spend some time in the forums, XCP-ng forums, and you'll kind of see there's a lot of large hosting companies at scale using it. We have a client that is using it across 3 data centers in 3 different locations, so they manage through one central web interface all their locations via Zen Orchestra. That's not something you could do as well in Proxmox. So Proxmox is a standalone for a home lab. Awesome. Once you get into larger clustering, it does not seem to have it. But it does have really good Docker support, which is why Learn Linux TV, Jay, he's been doing more videos on it because they're using it for like the Docker and container support. So it's not that it's bad or better or worse, but there's use cases. When it comes down to performance, they seem to be really close. But it comes down to also opinion on which interface you like better for each one as well. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's not that one's bad. It's kind of the argument of when you look at 2 very, very similar products that are similarly priced and similarly featured with some variation, you just have to decide on which one you want. And it's the reason people ask so much is because they're so close in features and things like that. So I know Proxmox has clustering, but my understanding from talking to people, it doesn't cluster at the same scale that you would cluster a Zen server pool at. That's where it has more of the shortcomings. But hey, whichever, it does do it. So I don't do much with Docker, so it's not really my thing. So I'm not much of a Docker person. The reason that vendors like MikroTik and Ubiquiti can't get a breakthrough is that the major ISPs run Cisco. The problem is you have people who have always run the same product and they don't want to run a different product because they know that product. So that's part of it too. I'm trying to spin up a new free PBX with some peculiar routing and operator panels, testing a bunch of Yealink phones with it now. So far, pretty good. Yeah, the Yealink phones work really well. They're just great for cordless stuff. Let's see. Yeah, I've seen the free PBX Zulu mobile app. I've not done any testing with it. I'm kind of waiting for it to become stable. I see a lot of updates coming for it, which tells me it's not stable. Yeah, it's grown. I just don't, yeah. Nope, we don't host any VDI. VDI is a short-term solution to the long-term of everything's moving to the cloud. Nope, we don't have any. Well, I take that back. We've had a handful of people running Chromebooks because it works. Matter of fact, I've talked about this before. My wife works for Quicken Loans. She's a mortgage broker. They do VDI because of security reasons and things like that, and they support Chromebooks. So when she works from home, she works from a Chromebook with dual monitors. No, I don't. I hate everything Komodo. That company is awful, so I don't use any product by them. I truly just dislike that Komodo as a company. They have done so many shady things with spyware and things like that. I know it's different divisions of the company. I just avoid the company. When a company has a reputation for doing shady things, I don't trust their other products. So I haven't used it. I have no intentions of even trying it. Got a question today regarding P2P connection for a wireless 2FTRs. I don't think there are any products for that. Yeah, once you go in a forest, you have a lot of problems. Yes, Cisco engineers open to change? Not likely. That's a whole other racket there. Once you get all Cisco certified, and I know people who are very deep in heavy Cisco certification, you know what they do? They only ever want Cisco. That's it. They are deep in Cisco, you can't talk them out of it. And anything not Cisco, they aren't happy with. And Cisco doesn't make a bad product. They really are a leader in a lot of things. And, you know, the old adage for years, because IBM, you go back to the 50s, 60s, nobody had a company that wasn't IBM. If you did anything computer related, you did it with IBM. And the old slogan was, you never got fired for choosing IBM. You chose IBM for everything. It took forever before anyone else broke into the market to kind of knock IBM down a notch. But it's not that IBM made a bad product. It was actually that. It was hard to compete with them because they made such a good product. And Cisco's the same way. Their product, whether you love it or hate it, they still make a solid product. And it's hard to tell people not to use it because they can trust it. Because you're asking, especially at the highest levels, you're like, let's look at something large scale, like a large ISP. You're asking them that their lifeblood is servicing clients to make $1 million investment in a product that they're not familiar with, and hoping the ROI of saving a few dollars on product licensing costs or product itself will still service their clients in a reasonable rate. So it's a big decisions. Certifications are a marketing tool, maybe, but certifications are also, how do you know if people know things? That's a very challenging thing when you're hiring people. It's always a pain in the butt to figure out. Yeah, sounds like no one got fired for buying Cisco. It's kind of the same thing. It's no one got fired for IBM, no one got fired for Cisco. So, yeah. I've heard CEO talk, we're ABC IT company, anything but Cisco. There's been that too. There's people who just loathe Cisco for whatever reasons. Whatever. Anybody knows IPCam Mini Full HD with RTSP string? There's a few of them out there. Hikvision, I think, do it, and so do the Unify cameras do RTSP. Well, I am going to start wrapping this up. If you guys noticed, I was yawning at the beginning. I'm only more tired now. I don't really know why. I don't think I slept as well as I could have, so I need to go home and do some chilling. So I just heard a click, subscribe to service. I didn't take care of look at this. What home business antivirus? No, Hikvision isn't banned in the USA. Hikvision is just not recommended for government installation work. As far as antivirus, the antivirus is use Windows Defender for home users. Yeah, the government doesn't. Well, the government won't approve it on a purchase, so. Had a complaint from Germany weather station because MikroTik wireless dish was on the TV tower. Huh. Yeah, there's a few of them. There's a lot of debate now because in a few other countries, I want to say there's an article about New Zealand delaying their 5G rollout because they can't use any of the Huawei products. So, yeah, that's the thing. I don't really see many LTO tapes with clients. That's kind of gone. Unless you watch Linus, he did a video on some of those archival tapes. Kind of depends on what you have to store. So, do I have a home rack? No, I don't have this. Here, you're looking at my home computer. This IBM X250. This is what I take with me everywhere. This is my computer when I'm home. I don't actually. A lot of times I don't even turn it on. This is as much computer as I do at home. A lot is this. I do on my computer here, and I kind of take a break when I get home. I even have light switches, not IoT switches. All right. Well, I am going to wander off and there. QNAP or Synology videos coming soon. I'll answer that soon. I'm not answering it right now. Defender for the lack of overhead and headache, and the fact that it scores really well as an antivirus. I did a video on that too. FortiClient for Forti is good for free alternative. Cool. Synology if you want to spend that money. The hole is filled into my yard. I should have titled the video that because a few people asked. The hole is full. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video on the hole in my yard. All right. Well, I will continue the discussion in the forums, so I'll post in there, and I try to reply to everybody in there. I post a lot in the forums, so go ahead and check it out. If you haven't joined, I will throw that in the list here. So it is forums. Let me get this switch back. Whoops. Look at all the things I'm logged into. Wow. So continue the discussion there. I do reply to many, many questions in the forums because that is a... I type fast, so I type in. If you look at my username in the forums, you'll see I've replied to many, many, many messages and had a lot of discussions. That works for me because I see a lot of questions. I log in and I spend like 20 minutes answering everyone's question at once, and then a few hours later I go back in and my usual obsessive behavior. So join my forums or lurk there if you just want to do some reading. Some of the questions you ask may have been answered there as well, or maybe questions I didn't get to you may find answered there for some discussion. All right, thanks and good night. Eric's going to go press the magic button and turn it off because he's doing it from over there, so I don't have to do it from over here.